so far, and we are climbing, and we are where I want to be. We're at about 7,000 national strikers right now, and it's growing. Okay, now I've had many other people say to me, where has the million plus people gone from Canberra? Where are they gone, right? And I'm going to tell you where I think they have gone, right? Look, the first thing is this, right? The farcical, false nonsense, shallow nonsense, fake crap that's been coming out of the Australian freedom movement since Canberra has been non-stop. And largely that's driven hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people away from the freedom movement and the truther movement. That's just a fact, right? Because of the crap that they have produced. Now, I believe they've all gone over and they're now listening and following guys on YouTube like a guy called the Spaniard, right? Now, the Spaniard's just a Western Sydney local lad who has had lots of trouble with law enforcement and has been charged and convicted and locked up for certain crimes, right? But he's now good, he's drug-free, and he's a good, clean, and he's a good inspiration. And now the Spaniard, right, 4 weeks ago, he put a YouTube 1 hour upload about the hood in Alice Springs, right? And within 4 weeks, he got 3.5 million views. 3.5 million views. And that's just a guy from the Western side, and he's talking about, now A.V. Yemeni went up there, and, the other pissant, they go up there, and Ruskin and these idiots, right? They don't get anything like it, mate. They get nothing like it. You get me? So that's the first thing. I mean, I watched one of Spaniard's the other night, right? I haven't watched it all yet, but I only watched it for like 20 minutes or so. Now, it was up for 3 hours, right? In 3 hours, it had 500,000 views, 500,000 views, and 8,500 likes, right? I mean, look, people here in Australia, the ones that really want change, right? They ain't listen to these fake and shallow pissants within the Australian freedom movement, mate. They're not. They want real people, and they are listening to people like the Spaniard. He's not the only one. But they're listening to people like the Spaniard, right? Much more than they'll ever listen to a lot of these other clowns in this freedom movement, particularly, allegedly, this ACA with their 1.5 million or whatever they got, right? So I just make that point, if I may, Laura, because I think these guys like the Spaniard are the real influencers in this country. Okay, the Spaniard recently, a few weeks ago, was here up near Brisbane, Gold Coast, at Logan, right? Did no announcement. He just rocked up there. Right? Okay, people saw him, photographed it, and put it out on social media. Within like an hour, 5,000 people were there, all around him. Right now, at the last freedom protest that Tricky Tritty ran, there was 1,500 people, and that was planned a month in advance. The Spaniard, within 60 minutes, gets 5,000 people, mate. Woof. Tricky Tritty, with 1 month's notice and all the bloody fanfare, gets 1,500 diehards only. You see? Tell me I'm wrong. Okay. Look, Laura, look, the strike is not sort of happening in isolation, right? All around us in the world and in Australia, there are lots and lots of things that are unfolding, right? Okay. This strike is not just confined to, you know, this issue, because this belligerent occupation is all around the world globally, and it's being fought globally. Okay, the people of Brexit, the yellow vests of France, the truckers and convoys of Canada, the flyover deplorables of America and Russia in Ukraine, and so on. This belligerent occupation war against humanity is taking place all over the world. Okay, now, so this strike, it fits into what's happening globally. Now, I think what we are witnessing is this. I think we are witnessing right now the end of the existing central bank financial system and all of everything that hangs off it. Wall Street, all the derivatives, all of the financial instruments, all of it, I think, is at its end and it's coming down. There is now debt so high that it's unrepayable, and they are spending the current currency, the fiat currency, into oblivion. So I think we are witnessing the death of the central banking system. It's coming down, right? And I think that the reports that Ricardo and others in the global freedom movement, their analysis is very, very accurate, right? In that President Trump is still the commander-in-chief, and there is some massive changes coming that are going to benefit humanity, but benefit here in Australia. But it's not just the central banks that are coming down here. We can also see that Big Pharma and other partners in crime are also coming down. We can see Big Pharma. We can see the mass media. The mass media is on its knees. We can also see, other institutions that are not going to survive this. So, there is a big, big change coming. The old world, the old Babylonian world is ending. It's ending. Now, where the fork in the road is, and that's just a fact for everyone, right? It's ending, right? But the fork in the road is the spiritual war. And the spiritual war is something that it was not my strength, and I've had to learn a lot more about this. But the spiritual war gets down to each and every one of us, and that's a war that has to be won internally within each one of us, because there's the evidence that I'm seeing is that there's millions of Australians out there who want to get out of this Babylonian system. They are going back to natural cures. They're going back to holistic medicines. They are getting out of the court systems. They go into common law. They're going to all of this stuff. They are getting away from mass media. They're going into their own information sharing, all that sort of stuff. They're getting out of the public health, the public education system, and going into homeschooling, and on and on and on it goes. I mean, maybe they don't say that, but to me, the evidence is that there's millions of Australians who are saying, we've had this. We've had their jurisdiction. We've had their overreach. We've had their Babylonian debauchery, all of their perversions, and we want out, right? That's the evidence that I see. And this national strike fits right in to all of that energy to exit the system and to bring the system down, okay? So the energy and the direction and how this strike is being managed, everyone needs to be rest assured that it is in alignment. It's in alignment with all of these international global events. It fits. It's not working against any of them. And ultimately, the goal is to make Australia ungovernable so that we can demonstrate that this belligerent occupation has lost control. And so we get military intervention to help us clean all of this up once and for all. Because without military intervention, mate, we're not going to fix this country up, because it'll never going to be fixed, ladies and gentlemen. You mark my words. It's never going to be fixed by that group of Freemasons who are going to hold themselves up as being the solution, right? It's never going to be dealt with, never going to be fixed, okay? They are going to protect it. That's just the way it's going to go. So that they and Exit the Who and all that stuff, as much as I support Exit the Who, but that is not the solution. A national strike to take it off them and to remove them in their entirety is the solution, ladies and gentlemen.